What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you an early preview of Sons of Valhalla, an indie title that is due out on April 5th, but its publisher, Hooded Horse, sent me an early copy to take a look at it, and I've been seeing a few indie games do what this game is doing, a combination of base building with some side-scrolling combat elements alongside the classic pixel art, of course, so I thought it would be fun to take a look at. Starting off with the general premise for this one. Sons of Valhalla sees us commanding our main character, but we're going to be engaging in base building and combat as we try to raid and take over settlements in a given level. Now the base building, while simple, is pretty impactful. So you have a bunch of resources you need to manage, and you also need to train fighters to actually take over the settlements you're trying to get to, as they are defended with various fortifications, and building up things like siege weapons to take care of those fortifications can be very, very helpful. But in order to build anything, you have to get the resources to do so, and also increase the limits for them. And while you'll receive a base amount of these from ships that will drop them off at your headquarters, you can earn more by building specific buildings within your outposts. Based on the size of your mead hall, which you can upgrade, you can then build a few other satellite buildings, such as a blacksmith, a barracks, an archery range, that kind of stuff, to both increase your resources and allow you to train troops. Now, what you build on any given spot is up to you besides the mead hall, which means you can prioritize which of these resources to make the most out of. For instance, you don't really need more than one blacksmith, but having more resource gathering buildings will of course get you more resources to then spend. And where those buildings are positioned and how quickly troops can get to where you need them is an interesting back and forth the game plays around with. And that's on top of course, the just regular battles that are, I would say, relatively straightforward for a side-scroller. However, you can also control the troops that you train up. You can have them follow you. You can have them get into a few formations, such as a shield wall, which is helpful for defending against enemy archers. And then, of course, you can get your siege weapons going to bring down enemy gates and walls. Every once in a while, though, you'll actually have a 1v1 versus a boss of sorts, which is usually how they end that given area. So I thought that was kind of fun. Now, story-wise, this game keeps it pretty simple, I would say, as you might imagine, but still cool enough for what it is. We play as a Viking who had their significant other stolen and sold into slavery, and we're raiding our way through England to try to find her. And it just so happens the gods are on our side for this, which is how we come into contact with Odin. Odin promises to bring us back every time we die so we can fulfill our destiny of saving our proverbial princess. However, there's a cost associated with this. We're going to be collecting runes as we go, which act as modifiers to basically everything I just mentioned. And when we die, we have to give one of those up in order to be resurrected. So straightforward enough and serviceable for what this game is. But really, the fun of this one comes down to the gameplay loop itself, managing both your base and your troops at the same time. As you unlock outposts along the path forward, you'll unlock a bit of fast travel, which will allow you to quickly get back and forth between all of these outposts you'll be building, and deciding what to prioritize in those outposts, which troops to train, what kind of siege weaponry you need to bring down individual walls, all while you also have to fend off attacks from enemies who aren't just standing around waiting for you. They will actively counterattack and everything. Makes for some decently fun gameplay, and while I wouldn't pretend this was some expansively big game or anything, it does seem like the kind of thing that would be great for killing time, especially on a platform like the Steam Deck that you could take on the go with you, and playing this while you're, say, making a commute or simply have a little bit of downtime seems like where it would really shine. Now, while the gameplay is overall, I would say, a tug of war between engaging in combat yourself and managing your base and your troops and giving them orders and everything, it's also important to remember to focus on your individual character as well, as certain buildings will provide upgrades, as you have things like a bow or throwables available to you that can be upgraded, or simply your base health, stamina, etc. And that stuff is also very important because there is, as I mentioned, those occasional 1v1 boss fights that don't involve your troops, and all of those little systems come together to form a game that gameplay-wise I had a fair bit of fun with in my time with it. So if you find yourself with a little bit of time, as the months ahead don't exactly have a huge amount of blockbuster releases or anything, and you're looking for something small and easy to dive into, Sons of Valhalla might just be that for you. Which is pretty much all I've got for you for this particular video. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below, of course, how you feel about this individual title, or just any other cool indies you happen to be playing, I'd love to hear about. But regardless of all that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.